This time I'm rocking that Persona 4 shirt. You see all the different shadows I got on here? You got Jiraiya's shadow. You got Namatame's shadow on here. Wait, right there, right there. It may be Persona 4, but it's Persona something. So ever since, probably about 3 days before Persona 3 Reload's official release, everything went wild. But ever since then, it just keep going and going and going. IGN accidentally leaked. Now hold on past me, you're gonna have to take a chill pill because we're changing things up a little bit. I recorded that first segment maybe about 5 hours before this, but now we actually have the official full interview of the IGN leak. And it's a pretty interesting title. Why Persona 3 Reload is set to be the series' new best entry point, which isn't something that I thought about, but now that I think about it, it's going to be true, and I'm so glad it is.
Burn my dread yet again. Now that's
How
exactly
you doing,
what the
Akeem?
Atlas team is doing with the remake
Absolutely.
of the iconic PS2 RPG Persona 3. And here
Yes,
to tell
sir,
us all about
my
what we
goat.
can expect from Persona 3 Reload is Ryota Nitsuma
Let me hear
and
it.
Kazuhisa
Let me hear it.
Wada. Welcome.
Ryota Nitsuma,
What was
Kazuhisa,
it about Persona
Wada.
3 that led you all to choose it for a remake over its predecessors?
He basically just said, why are you still ignoring Persona 1 and 2?
We believe that Persona 3 was the game that marked the actual turning
Look at this
point
quality,
in the Persona franchise.
HD too. When I first talked about that leak, it was in crusty like 480p, so I'm glad I get to see
Was the
it's
game
in
that marked
good
the
quality.
actual turning point in the Persona franchise.
That is
It's
true.
a very important title for Atlas, as well as for
Extremely
the development
important
team
title.
who were involved in the original version of the game.
Before this game, there was a different director. So the director that came from Persona 3 also directed 4 and 5. So not only was it a turning point as far as gameplay and the tone of the series, but literally direction by the director. It changed up a whole lot. I'm glad we get to see the town and then the school more filled out with NPCs. Makoto Yuki even has a bag on his shoulder, which is a very nice touch because he needs it back because he's actually going to school. Some people were saying it's kind of reminiscent of Joker, but I was just like, I mean, it's just a school bag over the shoulder. That's not a really unique type of way to hold your school bag. And Makoto Yuki always had the hands in the pocket thing before Joker was even thought of. So if anything, Joker got it from Makoto Yuki. But I mean, school bag over the shoulder, that ain't really anything new.
It's a very important title for Atlas, as well as for the development team who were involved in the original version of the game.
It is. It is a
That's why
huge
we
turning
wanted
point in
to
the
keep
series.
the
And
appeal
there's so
of
many
Persona
people.
3 to many more fans around the world as a
Exactly.
modern gaming experience.
Exactly, because Persona 3 was the least really treated game in the Persona series. Well, because even Persona 1 and then the Persona 2 duology had upgrades that refreshed them in their content more than the degree of Persona 3 and Persona 3 Portable did. Because Persona 3 Portable is really just kind of like a watered down content version of Persona 3 FES. Now, it's not to say the content in it isn't good, but I personally don't really care for the visual even though I like visual novels, I don't care for that visual novel style to where you don't get to see the 3D models, don't really get animated cutscenes like that or get to see them full body or anything like that. But I understand the appeal of the FEMC route, as well as having the newer cutscenes from her route and the different music. But the only thing I had really for FEMC why I don't really prefer her is not only did I not care for the visual novel style, but I also am not really the type of person that really likes the whole dual male and female two protagonist type thing. I had the same problem with Three Houses and Violet. I would really prefer if they went like the Pokemon route and took that what they originally had, but established them in the universe as two separate unique characters with different roles. And they could have just made FEMC no longer the MC, but just her own separate character in the narrative of Persona 3. That would have been my compromise. And it's so nice being able to see Gekko-Kan, first of all, in full body with the cherry blossoms and walking around. And just like the interviewer said, you get to see the full charm of Persona 3 in like a modern style. So it's not like it's copying Persona 5, it's just Persona 5's elements were able to refine upon their past aspects, and that's what they were able to do with this Persona 3 Reload, but still keep the Persona 3 Persona 3
Persona 5.
exact. So they're aware. He was like, we want to give it a more modern feel to where it's not just like to where people don't always have to try to emulate it or not wanting to go through all the extra work. We wanted people to get into the Persona series and not just Persona 5. He's talking to y'all, all you only Persona 5 players. Y'all think Persona 5 the best game ever made or the only good Persona game like that or the best? No.
And how long have you all been working
He's like,
on, the
okay.
remake?
He feel called out.
We started the research and development around 2019, and we started the actual development in late 2019.
What new content can fans
Wow.
expect from Persona 3 Reload?
Okay.
And how much
Good answer.
content from P3 FES and Persona 3 Portable will carry over to the remake?
Another good. He's asking the real good questions. You getting these real good
Can't
questions.
really go into details at this point, but we have remade
fair
basically
enough, fair
everything
enough.
from scratch as per the original version of Persona 3.
Yes.
So we have newly recorded voices, we have new
Mm-hmm.
scenes in the events, and we also have both new and arranged music, and we'll be kind of
Ooh, new
releasing
and
that
arranged
information
music.
following everything.
Like how Xenoblade 1 did it with the definitive edition release in 2021. They had both the original OST, but they had the definitive versions of the songs, but you could switch between them in your settings if you wanted to.
So we're asking to please look forward to that.
Absolutely. I'm down. I'm down. Super down.
My next question, though, as for the combat system, will there be any...
But later on, I will talk about the other interview and how IGN did mess up the clarifications on what Persona 3 FES and portable content will be in the game, because we do know there will be FES content in the game. We'll talk about that more later.
quality of life improvements made similar to what's found in Persona 4 and 5? And like, what can you tell us about the combat system as a whole?
Let me hear more about it.
元々のコンセプトとしてですね。
The basic concept of recreating the Persona 3 story was that we wanted to keep everything from the original version, but update everything to the modern day.
Yeah. So they want to keep the style of Persona 3 and how it was then, but update certain things that need. So I wouldn't be surprised if their all-out attacks is exactly the same and not like Persona 5's, to where it's just like they flash their images up on screen, then it's a dust cloud and stuff like that. I won't be surprised if that stayed, but things like controllable party members, that's gonna be something new for Persona 3.
Basically. So we have the newest graphics, we've updated the systems to the newest usabilities to make the customizations that we need, and this isn't just about the combat system. We have the voice lines in Japanese and in English. We also have the text available in 13 languages, so you should be able to have a similar experience to that of Persona 5.
And I'm so glad. I want to tell people, you can start with Persona 5. I mean, even though I never really tell people that, I usually tell people to start with Persona 4 Golden. That's like a nice middle ground. I'm not that big of a Persona 5 fan, even though I recognize it as definitely a good game. My answer will be to say Persona 3, but Persona 3 was so hard to access. Like FES, you had to emulate that. Portable, you had to emulate that too, but Persona 3 Portable got a port recently, but the port isn't really that good. The audio mixing is off.
Is there a message you want to share with them regarding Persona 3 Reload or in general?
本当にですね、スタッフ
The remake of Persona 3, not speaking just of development, but starting the project, planning, and everything, that was not an easy thing for us to do.
Oh, absolutely
So
not.
we're really happy to be able to announce the game like this. And all of the staff have been really devoted to this project, and we're proud of it as a Persona team.
You can definitely see how much care and love and patience that they're pouring into this remake, to where it's just like, there's no way you're gonna say you're not buying this remake. You are straight up lying to yourself if you say you're not buying it.
Oh, please be excited about this. And one more thing,
I'm excited.
We're so happy to be able to share this hype with
Look
everyone
at him.
globally.
Look at my boy. Look at him.
So, thank you so much, and please look forward to more.
Look at him. Please walk up towards closer towards the
ど
camera,
うもありがとう
please.
ございました。本当にオリジナル版
Again, we are so happy that we can finally announce this. We've been creating Persona 3 Reload with much love and respect to the original game. And of course, some things have changed and some things haven't.
For sure.
So we think this has become a title that you'll enjoy.
Absolutely.
Of course, the fans who love the Persona franchise will love this, as well as people who have never played Persona.
They basically just say Persona fans who buy everything anyway, they're gonna get this no matter what. So we know you'll like it.
We think that this is a game that can be enjoyed by many players.
Absolutely.
So we'll be following up with more information soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm probably going to be, if it's significant enough news, I'll probably cover that too. Past me is going to be talking about more things like the new images, the Persona 3 Reload website, and all that type of stuff, as well as the interview clarifying about what FES content will be in Persona 3 Reload that they didn't talk about in the interview. So yeah, past me, take it away. Man, I feel like every time I try to get this done, something else new pops up, featuring me again. There's some more really interesting news that came about that I think is actually really fun, and part of why I say that there really putting a lot of love and care and time into the production of Persona 3 Reload, and that is because they announced the platforms that's going to be on. It's going to be on, Xbox Series S and X and Xbox One, Windows, Steam, Game Pass, but it's also going to be on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Switch still unconfirmed for now, but there was one thing that I thought that was really fun, and again, like I said, why they're putting a whole lot of love and care in the Persona 3 Reload, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Atlas. Atlas, if you want to get your boy a code, you know what I'm saying? Thoughts? No? In this news press release, it said, now through the launch, please visit the Persona 3 Reload website for news announcements and the Atlas West social channels to check out special teasers shared on each official full moon date. So just like in Persona 3, how you have the full moon shadows on each of the full moon dates, and each of those full moon dates are important both for the shadows and for big story beats in general. Up until the release, we will have official updates on these full moons. So those full moon dates are July 3rd, August 1st, August 31st, September 29th, October 28th, November 27th, and then December 27th. At least that goes for the rest of this year, but early 2024, hey, all I'm saying is I really hope that they can release this game on the fated day. So Persona 3 fans, you know, can y'all subscribe to the channel? Because I'm going to be covering these news things. As long as it's something significant, I'll probably make a video about it, but if it's hype enough, I'll make a video about it regardless, because I'm on the Persona 3 Reload hype train. And subscribe, because I'm going to be making more Persona content, original Persona content as well. And this Persona 3 website that they link is actually a different Persona 3 Reload website than the Japanese one. This seems like an English version or an official Sega based one. You have all the 4K version of the screenshots like I'll be going through on the website later. Man, they look so good. This has to be at the beginning of the game when he's coming into the dorm from just coming here, right? But also they have the full body images, the story beats, step into the shoes of a transfer student, thrust into an unexpected fate when the hour hidden between one day and the next, awaken in incredible power and chase the mysteries of the dark hour, fight for your friends and leave a mark on their memories forever. Persona 3 Reload is a captivating reimagining of the genre defining RPG reborn for the modern era, and I cannot thank it enough. Oh man, even just thinking about this game, man, it really just hits me hard. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled video. Take it away past me. So the next biggest thing is the fact that IGN also messed up with exactly what was intended by the interview for Persona 3 Reload. So there was an interview for the Atlas team on working on Persona 3 Reload, and they had mentioned how they wanted to remake Persona 3 but based it off the original Persona 3, but at the same time there was going to be implemented some new story details, some new side stories for characters that didn't get as much fleshing out. And when IGN announced it, they phrased it in a way that said it would be based on the original Persona 3 and have no portable, no FES content whatsoever. Bing bang boom, and that's it. And people on Twitter flipped out. Clarifications were made. So they got to the point where it said, by the way, speaking of the main story Persona 3, there was also a work called Persona 3 FES, which is based on the original version with various additions and changes in Persona 3 Portable, where you can choose a female protagonist. How will Persona 3 Reload be positioned this time? And Natsuma says, I would like to make this clear so as not to cause any misunderstanding. Persona 3 Reload is a project that started as a remake of the original Persona 3 for the current model, not included. However, it does not mean that the elements in the main part, aka the main story, added in FES are not included in Reload. So it's basically saying that even though it's going to be based on the original Persona 3, it does not mean that elements of FES are not going to be there. Meaning, that sounds like to me that that's a big point to say that the answer will not be there and no Persona 3 portable stuff are going to be there. But in the main story section of the, like not the answer, but in the journey, the FES content from the journey, like you have, I guess, a social link, which is necessary. You have the Elizabeth dates, which isn't necessarily like, I guess, social link, but it's a really big part of the game that a lot of people enjoyed as far as gameplay perspective and giving Liz more of her personality and flair, just her sweet side and serious side too. But of course, they're still going to have some elements that Portable first introduced, like controllable party members. This is a huge step forward. Of course, me personally, I enjoyed the answer, and I think it was a nice icing on the cake for the themes of Persona 3 that really tested the characters and pushed them to their absolute point to push them to develop even more so than they did in the main game. I wish it was there, but the answer is a huge epilogue, so I can see how that's a big task for them to work on, as well as already redoing the entire game. Even adding in FMC stuff is a whole even bigger layer of different dialogue, different character interactions, exclusive scenes to just her as well, so it's almost like making a different game too. So that's a whole bunch of things they'd have to do. But at least we know that at least for the journey segment, we're still going to be getting FES content, which is a huge buff to a lot of people's opinions on this game. And of course, I called it anyway. But also, we got this new website for Persona 3 Reload, Memento Mori, remember that you will die. Oh man, why is Persona 3 just built different, man? Time never waits. It delivers all equally to the same. And oh, man, one thing I always say about Persona 3 that people say, oh, Persona 3 is super dark, Persona 3 is super grim, but no, the theme of Persona 3 that people always forget, and not just the reality of death, but it's about the beauty of life. That's the other half that people always forget. So it's just as much love and happiness and appreciation and glee and wholesomeness as well. You really need to appreciate those aspects and just walk on. For Xenoblade 3 fan, the thing that Noah said in the credit scene of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, sometimes you may weep and cry in frustration, but you must face your chosen horizon and just walk on. And that is something that Persona 3 does huge, and that's what really made me love Xenoblade 3 even more so, because the ending reminded me of both Kingdom Hearts 1's ending and Persona 3's really strong themes. Another big thing was the side stories that they're going to be giving to the characters of Persona 3, and I think that is a really huge part, and I really wish the best for that. Interviewer, you mentioned that additional side stories will be added to the scenario. What do you mean by that? Yamaguchi, because the main story of Persona 3 is akin to an ensemble drama, it really is. Thought there was still room to dive deeper into the stories of characters who didn't get portrayed as much in the original version. Please give me more for not just Chidori, but Takaya and Jin as well. Wanted to create more personal relationship with particular characters. This is a new element that is different from social links, in which you can deepen your relationship with specific characters. So they're going to be giving some more side story type things that are separate from the actual social links to really deepen the characters even more. Which is also great because Persona 3 also did a fantastic job splitting and dividing the wealth of love for each of the characters. But yeah, that is really going to be it. There's so much to be excited for, so much to talk about, so much to really appreciate. Also, let me know what you guys think about any of the new stuff we've gotten from Persona 3 Reload. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button to the channel. I got plenty more Persona content. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and check out the homepage for my different playlists and original series, and especially the Persona original playlist. Good day, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.